Hi guys, and welcome back to another texture pack update video. So this is going to detail what has been added in the pack in this update. We're now going to 0.2, so you've still got loads and loads to do, but this kind of update mainly kind of goes through bits of glass that we've added, lots of metadatas in glass, and I'll show you how to use them if you've never used metadatas before. And also we've got some metal textures as well, so it's kind of focused around that. The reason there isn't too much in this kind of update as well, kind of block-wise, these are ridiculously complicated. To do connected textures with glass, it's 47 textures. That's a lot. So if you counted this as 50, it's like 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300 just in the glass. We've got the transparent one there, but that's just one. So that's a lot. That's a huge amount. There's 300 there, then you got another 50 here. So you can see how it goes. 350, 400, 450, 500, 550, 600. Let's just call it 700 textures added in just a couple of basic blocks. But let's go through what all of them are. I'll show you how to use the kind of metadatas as well using World Edit. So you do need to have connected textures mod for this, or Optifine, or McPatcher. I recommend Optifine, that's what I've got. And if you are in Optifine, if you go to video settings and you go to quality, you should have this kind of connected textures here. If it's off, this is what you get. There's no connected textures at all. You lose all of the metadatas, which is a real shame because they look really cool. So there we go. So if you put it on fancy, for example, you get all of them. So the first two blocks that I've kind of added, we've got pumpkin and jack-o'-lantern. So this is supposed to be like a TV texture. And I think you can tell that it is a TV, like an old school. Obviously, it's not like a flat screen. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the sign is a flat screen TV. You might not have noticed that. I think I got the bevel, that just this kind of. I think I got it run the wrong way because when you look outwards, it looks like the screen's coming outwards. I need it to look in, so I do need to play with that kind of texture. But that is actually a sign. You can see a little logo. Well, it's not even a logo. Little lighter bit which I pixeled in there to make it look better. But that is a TV for a flat screen. So obviously you can just put that around or whatever. But these are the kind of more chunkier ones. Now I will be planning on doing connected textures with these. So for example with the glass, you've got one block here. That's almost like equivalent to our pumpkin, just normal one. I'm planning on having it so when you put one next to it, it extends itself, so the screen will then become this big. And then obviously if you have one this big, you'd have a big screen and an even bigger screen, and you'll be able to do it to whatever size you want. So it'll be like a big screen TV basically. With the animated one, I need some ideas for you guys. Not animated one, with a jack-o'-lantern I need some ideas. Currently I've just put in a logo type thing there, my kind of skull and crossbones, just to fill out the space to tell you that it's a different one. But whether I go for the same basically concept, slightly different, I don't know. Because if I do the connected textures with this one, it won't work the way that you want it to work. It'll kind of, well, the animation on it, it'll just be messed up. I won't be able to do an animation. I was planning on doing like little stickmen running, something like that. So now let's move on to the glass anyway. Normal glass and normal glass panes, now just tile. So you get this cool kind of thing. And you can actually see, if we let's put down an end block here, you can see how the texture actually kind of stretches itself to it. Quite cool. I've still got to play around with little bits. This corner here, you guys probably can't tell. There is a tiny little dark discrepancy on that corner. And I can tell from right here. I've got like eagle eyes though, so I don't know. But we've got that there. So that's your normal glass. We've then got a metadata, which is 20 and 1. For the glass panes, you've got 102 and 1. So this gives you this reinforced, it's also kind of like a classical, more kind of traditional style. How you place these, if you just have any block, doesn't have to be this. If you have World Edit, and you will need World Edit to do this, if you just grab that, select there. Then we're just going to do //set, and then 20 and 1. There we go, we get that. So if I just deselect that. So that's how you would get that, and that'll tile exactly the same way. With the metadata glass, they don't connect into each other as well, they're completely separate. So you can do some kind of cool stuff, I guess, with that. You'll probably figure out more uses than I know right now. Style 2, so that's 20 and 2 and 102 and 2. Is this more reinforced one, like with a metal kind of thing in it? This one will change 100%. It's there. I tried it out. I don't like it. So that will change. This one's really cool, so 20 and 3 and 102 and 3. This is really good, for example, if you just have with the glass panes, and if you use the replacer tool, which you can grab a stick, do REPL space, then do 102 and then :3, for example. If you just right click, then that will apply that block. This gives you a really cool handrail type thing, so that works really nicely. But with the main block, if we just do 3x3 here, and also if you have the replacer tool, by the way, if you left click, you'll select that block, so then you can just apply it like this. Really cool, like here. So you can see that. Awesome. But what this is basically an off-center square. So you can see the kind of border that comes around it. It looks really, really nice. I'm really happy with it. Why did I put down a sign? So if we go over here, then extend it, you kind of get this really nice border around the side of it. So, look at that. That's cool. I'm really, really happy with that. That's my own kind of design. I kind of had it in my head how it would tile, and it worked really nicely. This really does work as well if you want to frame something like a glowstone block. You can put that in the middle. It looks like those crosses go into it. And this is 3x3 as well, so it kind of off-centers stuff a little bit. Really, really nice. So that's 20 and :3, and then 102 and 3. Round windows in Minecraft. Hell yeah, I got that. So we've got round windows. This only currently works with the light grey wool. But it's cool. It's really, really awesome. So this can be used for ships, and I'll show you an example of ships in a bit. But you can also use it for buildings as well. It'd look quite cool for modern buildings. If you just want to have like small windows. So I don't know, maybe you had, this is the cobblestone here, something like that. You know, that would look quite cool, quite different, which is nice. The only problem is it doesn't really tile very well when you got it next to each other. So you kind of have to use it very sparsely. That's what I recommend. You know, make sure you got like a block gap in between. That'll make it look good. But yeah, I'll show you the ship example of that. What it's actually doing, and it only tiles with the light grey wool. And if we just have, for example, this little area here, that'll give us it. I basically took the texture of the light grey wool, cut a hole in it, and that was it. But I made it so that it tiles perfectly. So if you keep an eye on, basically the light grey wool was actually 16 blocks, different texture blocks, but I got it to match every one of them. So if you keep an eye on, for example, this detail there, or one of the top details, one of the corners, maybe this dark corner here, it's got a little bit of it. If you just do the block, you can see that the border doesn't change, it's just the window. So that works really nicely. That was a bit of a pain to do, but it did work. There is a problem with it. Lighting glitch. The good old Minecraft lighting glitch. If you have a block here, light doesn't work. Basically what happens when you put a block here, you get these shade lines here and here. So you guys can see that quite clearly. Same if you do this, you get the shade lines there and there. Now, with glass blocks it doesn't work, because glass blocks are traditionally like this. You might be thinking, oh, maybe it's the light that lets it through on the back. No, it's not, unfortunately. But, oh well. So you can't have any of them around it. So if you are going to do like a pillar, I would do it here. Make sure you got a block gap between the wool, for example, to then, you know, pull this over like that, something like that. I think even when you use my stone slab, wherever they are, there we go, it'll still, actually no, that doesn't have the effect. So you can do some, you can still do some stuff like this then. But it's when you get a full block, yeah. So stone slabs don't do it, but the full blocks do. A bit of a shame, but still, you know, it's a different idea. And again, I'll show you it on the H44 because it looks really awesome on that. Next one, which is the fifth style, which is 20 and 5 and 102 and 5. This really cool, almost Asian style, I think. Really cool. It was actually taken from one of my iron bars. I'm actually going to take out the iron bar variant over there and fill it with something else and just use this because this works so well. And you've also got the glass panes, which kind of doubles as that anyway. Really cool. Transparent blocks. 20 and 6 and 102 and 6. Why, you might ask? Well, quite simply, if we just grab a couple of blocks, we'll grab the cobblestone and we'll grab stone stairs. If we have a door like this, and I'll just do it as a normal doorway, but we also had kind of styling on it like that. How many times have you guys done this and you're like, that's just annoying? And it really is annoying. I mean, especially if you're in Hunger Games, you're always bouncing around in Hunger Games, I don't know why. Actually, well, that was ridiculously smooth. I think I've been playing a lot of Hunger Games. But if you were, for example, bouncing and you get stuck and you're like, well, now I've been killed because of this stupid door, Now you could do something like this, put in your transparent block. Oh, that wasn't the transparent block. Where's the block itself there? So I just switch that out to the full block. Now what will happen is you can't go onto that step. Quite nice. It's also quite nice if, for example, you wanted a blank doorway of kind of any size, I guess. I'm just going to take off these ones here. You had something this big, maybe, like a really, really grand doorway. You had some stuff in the back, but you didn't want people to explore on your server or whatever. You could then use this so that you could, see through it, but it doesn't take away from the look. You don't have to put glass in there. Instead, you've just got these blocks like this. So, you can see the stuff behind it, but for example, if you didn't have anything on the top floors, didn't want people to explore there until you've done it, this will then stop it. It's kind of like a barrier. We do have a barrier block coming in 1.8, but for the time being, this will work. And also, if you do, for example, if I destroyed this structure and I was like, damn, I forgot to get rid of the invisible blocks. You might be like walking, I just walk through them, but then there's some more here. And, all you can do is just go into your video settings, go into quality, turn off the connected textures, get rid of all of those, and they can just turn it back on. So that's how you would get around that. But there you go, you got your invisible blocks. Let's get on to the iron. Now, you guys hated the block of emerald. I changed it. I hate this one as well. I hated the old one. I hate this one. So your task for you guys, my task for you guys, is to come up with something like idea-wise for block of emerald. I don't know what it is. I don't know what we'll use. Maybe we can use something like this, but make an old PC monitor. Or I don't know. I might make this into some sort of, I don't know. Give me ideas. Anything at all. Tiles or anything. Doesn't have to be green. Doesn't even have to be a proper block. Just anything, please. Now we got the block of iron. So one of the guys actually said to do, if I could do some sort of girder texture. This is what I came up for now. It's not what I want, but it's a rough guide, and it's a bit better than what I had before. So it's kind of there. I think what I'm going to do as well with a metadata is do like an air vent. You got the air conditioning units, and you have these kind of pipes. One of the reasons I did it this way as well with the connected textures was for that. To get that kind of style, but I'll probably do that in an extra metadata that I've got to make a really good one. So we've got this basic one. The border is going to change. It's actually just taken straight from the glass block and dumped into here, so it will change. We've got a dark iron variant, 42 and 1. We then got a light one, which is kind of more of a silvery texture. That's 42 and 2. Guess it could be aluminium as well. Quite cool. Kind of copper color, like a, well, not really a copper color. It's more like a reddish color, I guess. 42 and 3. Then got this thing called Verdigris. Not sure how to pronounce it. It's kind of like a copper color, which has been eroded and it becomes this weird blue. This one will change. This one will be gone. Scratched metal. This one I'm planning on not doing it with the border. I'm going to change it so you get random blocks and things like that. That would be really nice. We then got the block of gold. I'm actually going to change this at some point. I might have this one as a metadata, for example, so you can still get the kind of, that kind of border. Obviously, there'll be a better border, but that will be goddamn invisible blocks. There will be a kind of a different one. I'm thinking of, like Fort Knox, you see all the gold bullion. I'm thinking of doing it like stacked like that, some sort of texture that works there with randomization rather than anything else. Dark variant of gold, hate it. Completely and utterly hate this variant. It looks terrible. So let's jump into a couple of worlds. First I'll show you guys the battleship with the circles, and I'll show you the actual glass as well, just so you can see what it looks like. Actually, what I'll do is I'll show the battleship with this, some windows, and I'll also show you what the iron looks like as well. Alright guys, so here is an example of the circular kind of windows on the H-44 battleship, my battleship. So you can see kind of what it looks like. It makes it look a lot smoother and a lot more kind of realistic because they were kind of circular on ships. So you've got a couple of multiple layers of those there. Does look really ace, I think. I'm really happy with it. I was tempted as well to make it like a biome specific thing, so the default kind of block would be this in ocean biome, which is what we're in. The problem was the glass up front here. You can see that I've actually switched this glass out for the modern one as well. I'll probably do a different one, try and get a kind of warship bridge type glass, I guess. But you can kind of see what it looks like. I'm really happy with it. I think that looks pretty ace. We can actually also fly over quickly to the landscape. So you can actually see what kind of mixtures of stone and stuff look good. The trees, again, I do need to do some stuff with the trees. Have a look up here. There you go, you can already see the sand, looks pretty cool. And there we go, there's some stones. Find a nice kind of open place. We'll get out of the way, there we go. So that's what you can do with the stones. Randomize those metadatas that are already in there. Looks pretty ace. So let's have a look at the big windows. Okay, so here is a kind of example of the glass, the 20 and 3 one. So you got the kind of squares bits. You guys that follow me on YouTube will know what this building is. Or at least what it is. It's kind of still under construction, so you guys are getting a sneak peek before the episode comes out for that. But yeah, it's really, really cool. Especially when you go onto like the inside and stuff. It looks pretty ace. Going down. It kind of adds an extra kind of layer of detail into everything, which is kind of what I wanted. If I just grab a stick so I can break through. Actually, I'll just break through this wall. That'd be easier. There we go. Ugh. And yeah, the building isn't finished at all. As you can see, there's loads of bits missing. But it kind of adds an extra layer of detail into your windows. And because it's off-center as well, it kind of mixes things up a little bit for when you can see those kind of things. And then finally, the kind of iron blocks. So you guys that have been following me for a while know that I used to use iron blocks because I used to use Sphex, and that had a really cool iron texture. This is the Slava class in the kind of iron blocks. Looks pretty badass, actually. Works really well for the Soviet ships. But what you do get with the connected textures part is this kind of border, which outlines, for example, those letters there. Also the line between these two. Then I've got this tiny little line here, which does show up. It kind of makes everything look a little bit sharper, especially the edges and stuff like that. Really nice. But tell me what you guys think of the pack so far. What you kind of want me to work on next as well. This one was kind of like windows and metal. Anything. Do you want me to do more? Oh my god. Wait a minute. Oh my god, yeah, of course, because I weighted pressure plates. I used to put these on the ships, which is why I've stopped. But anyway, tell me what you guys want me to work on. Items, blocks, certain types of blocks. You know, all that kind of stuff. We've still got loads to do. But if I don't get too much feedback about that, then I'll probably do the organics. Grass, dirt, trees, and leaves. I think that's quite a big bit, really. But yeah, we've got a nice little seagulls flying up here, which is always good. But yeah, tell me what you think. Give me any suggestions as well. Anything that you want to see in the pack. This pack is as much for you guys as it is for me. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video.